Hi everyone, and welcome back to Level Up with Dawn. Today, I wanted us to talk about inflation. Um, B's trying to get in. Today, I wanted us to talk about inflation because I had like a pretty large breakthrough with regards to understanding it and understanding it in a more practical way. I've understood like the definition of it, how it interacts in our economy, but I haven't really understood in the context of investing how inflation is something that we really need to be keeping in mind. So this video, we're going to talk about that. I'm going to go into the definitions, bring it back into investing, and then we'll take it from there. So let's start with the definition. Inflation is the rate at which the price of goods and services grows. So if we expect inflation to grow by 5%, then I guess, on an average across all the goods and services that we may purchase from time to time, we expect the price of that to grow by that much every year. So that means then when we monitor this, or at least in terms of the institutions in our economy that do, they use the interest rate, the repo rate, to keep it at bay, because we don't want things to grow too fast. Also, it could be a bad thing if things don't grow in price at all. I'm still investigating why it's bad, but according to economics, it is. It can get to a point where it is a bad thing that we don't have inflation. So we've seen, like in South Africa in particular, the repo rate was hiked quite significantly over the last medium term. That was because our inflation rate was like really ramping up to levels that the central bank was not comfortable with. And so to bring it back into line with where we're comfortable, which is 4.5%, that's our target for our central bank, they were hiking interest rates. So now let's talk about money. Money essentially is a store of value. And even though we may like to count it and, stack it up, and a lot of the things that we do every day revolves around either making more of it or like finding ways to spend less of it. All it is to us is a store of value, because we don't actually want those notes and those coins. What we want is the things that we can exchange those notes and coins for. So when I say I have 100 Rand, what I'm actually saying is I have stored value worth 100 Rand of goods and services. So I can, whatever service, whatever good I would like to acquire, if it's within that realm, then I can afford to acquire it. The problem now with the store of value, though, is we don't have control over how stable it remains, right? And that's because of inflation. A few years ago, I remember a time where I would go to the shops, to a grocery store, and I would buy a full bag of groceries, like just, one plastic bag of groceries could be 100 to 150 Rand. Now, 100 Rand can get me a box of cereal, maybe like 1 liter of milk to go with that. So, in that example alone, you can see how this value of 100 Rand, even though it's still 100 Rand, it's still the same 100 or the same purple or blue note. What it can get me is continuously decreasing, and that's because of inflation. So now when we bring this concept or these concepts back to the context of investing and building wealth, what we actually are doing is trying to grow the value of our stores. So it could be through acquiring more, or it could be through protecting what that thing can buy, or protecting what the value we've accumulated is able to get for us. But then when you now zoom out and now look at the whole dynamics of everything that we operate in our economy, you can see the wealth that we're building has two forces acting upon it, right? The first force is the growth, like the actual growth of this money. So it could be the rate of return that you get, or like, the dividends. But return can be like a bucket for a lot of different types of cash outflows towards you. So what determines your return is essentially where you put your money, right? You could put it in property, you can put it in the stock market, you could put it in a savings account, tax-free savings account, you could put it under your mattress. Like, it's completely up to you, and depending on where you decide to put it is that determines the rate that you're going to be getting for your money. But then on the flip side of that, the second force that's acting on our money is inflation, and on our investments is inflation. Because let's say you doing everything that you need to do, or maybe even just doing nothing, you just have it in a straight savings account. That could be great, and you're not spending it recklessly. You're keeping it safe, you're keeping it stored. According to the SARB, if we use them as an example and we use their target of 4.5% as an example, best case scenario, the value of your savings will be decreasing by 4.5% every year. And that's just best case scenario. That's like the average across everything, because there are different expenses in our lives that grow at faster rates. Medical aid is about to hit us. Electricity, we know, like, they've been ridiculous with their tariff hikes. So 4.5 is best case. Like, your money and the value that you have stored is like getting less and less mileage. It's being able to go less and less far because of all these different factors which center around inflation. And it's like, I don't know, I've been investing for a while. I've been in the stock market for a while, but I've always been focused around the first force. What are the returns I'm making? Is it good returns? Is it like, should I move stuff from my savings to my to a fixed deposit or into the stock market? Like, I've been focusing there, or I've been giving my attention to that side of things, but I haven't really contrasted it against inflation. And so I wanted to make this video for you guys, because I don't know about you, but like, I know inflation exists, but I didn't think about it that deeply. I didn't think about how it interacted with the goals that I have, especially in terms of the wealth that I'm building. So I really hope this video helps you guys, because at the end of the day, there's a lot of sayings that go around, like, you can't save your way to wealth, you need to invest your way to wealth. And so a lot of us, we're doing that, we're investing, we're in the stock market, or we're in bonds, or whatever the case may be. But if we don't have sight of what inflation is doing, then we essentially, we're in the right places. Theoretically, we're in the right places, but we're not sure if it's actually doing what we need it to do. So I think like that's gonna definitely be an aspect that I bring into a lot of my videos going forward. I'll be talking to you guys more in detail about like going to the stock market, how you can, the different types of investments, because I've done the detail in like the property side of things, but on the other side of investments, I have less for you guys, and so I'm building up to releasing those videos. But definitely, I think if you, as an investor, really want to up your game in building your wealth, I urge you to really consider inflation, the rate of inflation, not just the target, right? Because that's what we're hoping for, but that's not what it really is right now. We only just started cutting, so we're still on our way to that target. So as it currently stands, it's worse. Like, inflation is higher. The average, the best case, is higher. There's so much that grows larger or grows faster than inflation, the average of inflation. So think about that when you're looking at your unit trusts, when you're looking at your ETFs and the returns. are they at least covering inflation? You know, the inflation that exists, not the target that we're aiming for. So I hope this video helped you. I hope it gave you something to think about. It's definitely something that I'm now like obsessed with. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.